Another exciting week of NFL football is winding down, and oh man, do we have so much to talk about. We'll recap some college football. We'll recap week 3 of the NFL season. We'll talk some Carolina Panthers and so much more. So do us a favor, kick back, relax, because episode number 8 of 609 Sports Talk begins right now. Welcome in, everybody, back to another edition of 609 Sports Talk, live here on Facebook and, of course, on YouTube. We are coming to you guys live from Hamilton, New Jersey. Of course, you all know the deal. This is the show that unites all fans and ignites a lot of debate. And, oh, man, do we have a lot of debatable topics to talk about tonight. But as always, we are your host, Sam Nelson. He is Tyler Adams, who has got his virtual background on. I'm off on mine tonight. I got the wall behind me tonight.
The white wall. Boo.
Boo. Yeah. Well.
Boo.
Boo. Well, we got a big show tonight. You know, we'll recap college football week 4. You know, a lot of excitement over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
On Saturday night.
Lots of excitement.
A lot of close games, a lot of really entertaining college football. College football this year, I feel like it's been very entertaining. Like,
I know, right? Unless if you're a Florida State fan.
Well, yeah, that's for another topic for another day. But hey, they won this week. Don't get on too much. They won this week.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, by 5. But I feel like this year, just a lot of teams are like, no one's beating the holy bejesus out of each other. I think it's a lot of close games. I mean, all the AP Top 25 matchups so far that I've watched have been really good.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of upsets, a lot of close games. I mean, God, Georgia almost lost to Kentucky last week. I mean, that could have been upset of the year. I mean, is Coach Calipari coaching football now? I mean, we almost had the upset of all upsets.
Oh, man.
But we'll talk some more college football later on in the show. We'll recap yesterday's games around the NFL. We're going to give you some pre-games tonight for the Monday night doubleheader. Of course, we have Jags and Bills. And, of course, we have Commanders at Bengals. So we'll talk about those games a little bit later on here on the program. But our first topic of the night comes out of Carolina. Now, everyone knows last week the Panthers announced they are benching former first overall pick, Bryce Young, in favor of the redheaded sensation himself, Andy Dalton.
Red Rocket.
Yeah, I was not saying that live on air. But
well, it's done.
It's done now. It's on, it's clipped, and now we got to go away. Good night, everybody. But anyway, now Andy Dalton had a good game yesterday. 3 touchdown passes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, it wasn't against the Raiders. Sorry, Jimmy.
Hey, Raiders didn't look like too easy of a team to go out and beat heading into that game. Now, I will say, Miles Sanders is done.
Miles Sanders was done the second he was not coming back to Philadelphia.
And all I can say is, oh, man, I can wait for Christian McCaffrey to come back because I got Chuba Hubbard to lead the way. As soon as I heard the news Bryce Young was getting benched and Andy Dalton was going in, I was like, I'm starting him. And boy, did he show up. 21 carries, 114 yards, a receiving touchdown, 55 yards receiving. Oh, man. That team looks different. So, I don't want to get too deep in here. I don't know if you had some thoughts you wanted to start off with, but it's looking like it may not be the coaching issue in Carolina. It could come down to ultimately the quarterback being a flop or needing a change of scenery.
Well, first of all, this first segment is dedicated to a OG 609 supporter, Mr. Bill Cook, who used to comment on a bunch of our older shows. I actually saw him today.
Nice.
Stopped by the job, came and was talking to me. We were talking about this, and this is why I want to talk about it. I want to know your thoughts. Who is responsible for this? Is it all Bryce Young? Is it the Panthers coaching? I highly doubt it's Dave Canales. I think Dave Canales is going to be a really good head coach in this league. Is it Panthers front office and ownership? Where does all this tie into? Because this has got to be investigated.
So, I'm going to start with saying we don't want to overreact. It was 1 week. No. Yes, it was the first week that they made the move, and it happened. They got immediate results. Now, will those results hold? Only time will tell with that. So it is possible Andy Dalton can just stink it up as well. And they're like, all right, well, we're back in the same boat. He had one good week, and then they tossed Bryce Young back in. The initial thoughts and overreactions to it is that Bryce Young couldn't get the job done at all. They put in Dalton, and what does he do? Moves the ball with ease. And the offense operates at what seemed to be maximum efficiency.
Great. Now, here's where I'm putting this, okay? Now, let's be real. I know Bryce Young has not had the greatest start to his NFL career. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I am not the one to take credit for things. I don't like gloating. I'm not the I was right, you were wrong guy. But I told you that coming out of that draft, who the better quarterback was. I knew it from day one. It was C.J. Stroud. I watched C.J. Stroud's whole career at Ohio State. I had to watch him tear up my Penn State Nittany Lions every freaking year. So trust me, I know a little bit about that.
Real quick, we got a couple of comments. What's up, Bill Gold?
Oh, yeah.
Roadhouse getting to start.
I saw the Roadhouse one.
He's right. A broken clock is right 2 times a day. So, I don't... This segment we're doing right here is purely overreactions because only time is going to tell what's really going to happen with that whole Carolina saga. And is it actually Bryce Young who is the issue? We could go into next week. Who do they play next week? Let me pull it up.
I have no idea who they play next week.
They play next week's 29th. They play the Bengals. Oh, Andy. Oh, why do I see this as a trap game for the Bengals, man? The reunion with Andy Dalton.
Because this is a revenge game number 2.
Oh, you're right.
Do you know what I mean by that? Do you know who's on the Raiders coaching staff?
Wait, it's Marvin Lewis, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Andy Dalton got revenge on that.
Oh my gosh, Andy Dalton might have 2 explosive weeks back to back. Well, Chuba Hubbard's getting a start again this week.
Miles Sanders instantly goes off for
Andy
200
Dalton
yards.
Waiver wires.
Oh, would you stop it? Would you knock it off?
Yeah, I'm not that crazy. But
here's an opinion that I've had over the weekend, and I thought about this long and hard, and I really want to hit home on this. Yes, I hit home.
Pun intended.
Every pun intended. Actually, got a hitting home announcement a little bit later on in the show. If you would not mind if I shared it now.
Go on.
For anybody who's interested, as everyone knows, this Sunday, September the 29th, marks the end of the regular season for Major League Baseball. The Major League Baseball postseason begins next Tuesday with the wild card round. So for anybody who is going to be available or free after all their football games are over, 609 Sports Talk presents Hitting Home. We'll be live this Sunday. Myself and a very special guest of ours from the Dueling Aces, Mr. George, will be on live Sunday evening to go a complete MLB postseason breakdown. We'll break down the wild card matchup. We'll do our predictions for the whole postseason. We're going to have a fun time with it. So I'm working first of all, I'm working like triple headers this week. I'm doing Dueling Aces with them after tonight.
Oh,
Then
man.
Sunday, I'm going to have Birds of the Gridiron's post game. Then I'm going to have that. Then I'm going to have our show Monday. I'm going to have too many times on these headphones. So yes, for anyone who is interested to come check it out, full MLB postseason breakdown this Sunday. George and myself will be there. We're going to break down the whole Major League Baseball postseason. So hopefully you guys will come check it out. It's going to be fun. Red October's back. I just wish they would clinch the damn NL East already. But they wanted to lose 2 straight. They could win tonight though. They could do it tonight.
Okay.
It's better. Answer me this. As a football, basketball fan, who wants to clinch a division on the road?
Yeah, doing it at home,
It's
it's more exciting, more electric.
And you look, granted, we went this year, they got shellacked by the Yankees. You've seen that crowd.
Oh, yeah.
That place is going to go bonkers tonight. If
Phillies
they
crowds are insane.
All right, well, here. But now, let's segue back to Bryce Young, because Matt's comment kind of brings me back to my point here. He said, Young is not the man everyone kept saying it was. The O-line, but I see no problems with the O-line yesterday. Here's the thing. Here's the unfortunate thing. I agree with everything that you both are saying. But here's how I'm looking at this, okay? Just because I broke into baseball as my first sport, so Major League Baseball drafting is a lot different. As you know, you don't come up right away unless you're like Paul Skeens, who wins the College World Series and just starts coming up in the big leagues and throwing 110 and striking everyone out. Not everyone's like that. How you got to look at this. Just because Bryce Young was picked number 1 overall, that doesn't mean he was ready to play day 1.
No.
If you remember back, let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's go back to 2016. The Eagles trade up to number 2. They took Carson Wentz. Yes, he's back being a conversation point. But if you remember, I know. If you remember, that was his rookie year was not the plan for the Eagles. They were going to go into the season with Sam Bradford. But then Teddy Bridgewater messed up his knee, and the Eagles took advantage, and they used Sam Bradford as leverage to get a first-round pick, which they lost in the Carson Wentz trade. They were not supposed to play Carson Wentz his rookie year. Now, granted, it worked out because if Wentz doesn't play that first year, then year 2 doesn't happen, and then Super Bowl 52 doesn't happen.
True.
But just because you take the kid number 1 overall, they would have been better off. They would have just used Andy Dalton as the bridge quarterback.
Honestly, yeah, but then think about it. Dalton wasn't there last year either.
No, he wasn't.
It was
Wait, where was he last year?
Wait, was he with them? I don't think
Darnold
he was.
Darnold was with San Fran last year.
Darnold was with San Fran. Who was the quarterback for them last year? The backup to Young.
He was there last year.
He was there. Okay. So they had Dalton on the bench all year last year, just forcing Young the whole season?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I think the Panthers franchise is still in a state of disarray. They're fixing things. They're not there yet. They still got a lot of work to do. Is Andy Dalton the answer? No, he's not. Is he going to hold them over? Hopefully be a good mentor for Bryce Young? Hopefully. I agree with what you just said. That should have been the plan from the start. If he was there all last year, why did Dalton not get the start last year? Have Bryce Young learn from him.
Yeah.
What's the point in throwing the kid out there when he's not ready? Clearly wasn't ready. Saw him line up under his guard one week. I've never seen a quarterback do that before. Never. Oh, man.
Right.
Real quick, Bill says, gotta run. Just FYI, Steelers are not for real. They'll start 7-2, might finish 8-9. Toughest end. They do have a tough end schedule. I remember when we were doing our previews.
They may lose like 8 straight. And I'm not even trying to be funny.
Yeah. Their defense looks real good, but their offense is still a question. Even though I don't think Russell Wilson has a job to go back to.
I agree. Matt said he agrees. I never liked Young. He wasn't all that at Bama. He was a product of his receivers. I always said he was an NFL starting quarterback, which unfortunately for a lot of these Bama quarterbacks tend to be the story because I'm sorry, you'll never have it easier than being an Alabama quarterback.
Yeah.
You had
receivers there always top notch.
You got stud wide receivers every year, stud running backs, stud offensive linemen for all those years. Now, not anymore, but before that, this year, Nick Saban and one of the greatest defenses in college football outside of Georgia. But so everyone thought AJ McCarron was the next Tom Brady.
Exactly.
And look how that turned out.
And that's the story. Like, a lot of people ask the question, when was the last good Bama quarterback? You could only really look at Tua.
And I don't count Jalen Hurts in that.
Yeah, because he transferred and he succeeded. I count him as an Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, of course. Lincoln Riley fixed that man.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't say fixed, he improved upon him. Because he had a lot of success at Bama, like a lot of quarterbacks do. But the fact that he was able to go out to Oklahoma and build on that success and, carve out a role for himself, Anthony, I can't answer that. I don't know.
Well, first of all, Jacoby Brissett. Anthony just proved my point. Look what the Patriots are doing. They're giving Drake May time to develop.
Yeah.
They started with Brissett, which, by the way, Jacoby Brissett hasn't played terrible.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't want this to sound wrong. I think what happened with McCarthy and the Vikings worked to his benefit. Obviously, never want to get hurt. But the fact that they were going to throw him out there as the starting quarterback, I don't think the Vikings would have had the same start as they're having with Darnold out there. Even if you get this splashy, big-name player, it's still always best if you have a solid backup quarterback, someone who had experience starting in the league. Just have them start out there. If they start off like 0-6, all right, toss the young kid in at that point, let them go. But they're never going to be ready for the NFL week 1. Very rare. Very rare will you ever see that happen.
And I didn't get the inkling that JJ was starting for them week 1.
You didn't? I thought that's what they kept saying the whole time.
No, their plan was to do what they were doing now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they never had any. They knew JJ. JJ is probably the one that people were concerned with the most for some odd reason. Because, to quote my good buddy and best friend, that Adam from the Dueling Aces, who loves me so much, he took a shot at me yesterday on a show he was on because I commented about Jameis Winston to him. But
oh man, I think it's time for Jameis.
It's not yet. It's not yet. We'll talk about that later when we get to that game. But I will say, the Patriots are doing it right. The Vikings are doing it right. Now, granted, the Vikings this year don't have a choice, and the Falcons. I mean, I'm sorry. Michael Penix was in the national title game last year.
Yeah.
He's not even going to sniff the field. Now, granted, by the time he sniffs the field, his rookie contract may be up, but still, that's the point. These teams are doing it right, and Carolina didn't. First of all, when Carolina drafted him, they had nothing. Their best weapon was 30-million-year-old Adam Thielen, who, by the way, still can play football a little bit.
Mr. Old Reliable right there.
Okay, yes, Anthony, I'm aware of that, but guess what? This is what teams do. Yes, Anthony, but that same Jacoby went on the road week 1 and beat Joe Burrow. So,
yeah, that is true.
And by the way, he went up against the Jets. That defense is ridiculous. New commenter. From Breon Nichols saying much love from the KWU podcast out of Chester, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
We appreciate the support. We always appreciate the comment. And then Anthony said, random question, how do you feel about your next game that you may not have A.J. Brown and Smith? We're going to have to see about A.J.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Some people say week to week. Some people say a few weeks. Some people say after the bye week. It's all over the place.
We are all
But
over the place.
I mean, are we gonna touch on that later? Or do we want to answer
We'll
this
touch
now?
on. Well,
Because
I
I got some more things to say about the
I don't
Eagles.
feel as nervous after what I just saw Denver do to Tampa.
Yeah, they made them look vulnerable.
Matt's banking that we have at least one of them. I'm hoping we do, but
Yeah.
all I know is that, as David Tyree says, "Goal, go Vikings."
Go Vikings.
Vikings are. I know David's happy. David's boys are playing well.
Looking solid.
And, and David, welcome to the show. Another new commenter.
Welcome.
Welcome to everyone, all the new commenters tonight. I am already having a joyful time on this episode. Got new fans coming in.
Lots to talk about.
But yeah, I personally I don't think Carolina played this well. I think Bryce Young can be salvaged. Is it in Carolina? That I'm not sure about.
I don't think so. Because just imagine, right? Now after you have Andy Dalton come out and actually perform with that offense, it's going to be tough to ever have, like, Andy Dalton has to stink it up for weeks on end for fans to want Bryce Young back. And even at that point, they may not still want him back. They might just be done with it altogether. They're ready to just draft another quarterback. So I think the only chance for Bryce Young is on a different team.
Bill said, I think Denver, Tampa Bay just shows what happens when you go into a game not respecting your opponent. He's not wrong.
Yep.
And then, of course, the good old man himself, Mr. George, G3.
Georgie.
Coming in saying, Eagles and Saints game was a slugfest and one of the lowest scoring games. Not good. We talked about execution last week. I don't see much of the change. It's not.
The execution, we're going to talk about this more later. I do not like the play calling in the attacking part of the field. Not just red zone, because we normally don't even get to that point, but like just from inside like the 30.
Well, we can start jumping into the recap of yesterday now, and we'll move and we can pregame tonight's games after.
Yeah,
I'm cool with jumping into this now.
I didn't know if we were done with the Bryce Young Carolina thing.
Well, I mean, I have nothing else to say. I think Carolina botched this, and I think he's going to get moved eventually because I don't see how they fix him in Carolina.
Yeah, I don't either.
A team I would like, where I want to see him go?
The Giants.
Shut up. No. Miami.
Oh, Miami.
Or the Rams. If there's two coaches that could fix him, it's Mike McDaniel and all those weapons, or Sean McVay.
Yeah. Sir Reed Blankenship.
No, it's not. It's not Sir Reed. It's not that. Matt, you thought this way too hard. You thought
Sir
this way.
Oh, pick and ship. I didn't even. I'll be honest. I just saw the ship and I just said Blankenship. I did not read it.
Matt, you thought that too far. But, well, first of all, we're going to start our Week 3 recap now. We're going to start with Eagles and Saints. Eagles win a dogfight down in the Bayou, 15-12. Saquon Barkley, I was told by a certain personality on FS1 that he wasn't a difference maker. Well,
was that personality also a Giants fan?
No, he's a Chiefs supporter.
Supporter. I love that. Supporter.
Oh, yeah.
So what, you're telling me he's an NFL referee as well?
Oh, we're going to get into that. Because I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, man. Is it because I didn't want to 100% agree that the refs were on their side?
You're fine. Okay. I get your point. But now I'm going to come after you again with this.
Now I got something to say about the refs and the Chiefs now. Oh, believe me. I'm on board. I let it slide last week.
We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, 351 yards on the ground already, Saquon Barkley has.
Yeah. You know, Saquon might have more yards rushing than Caleb Williams does passing so far this year. Just a little stat to throw out there. Oh, actually, he doesn't. Never mind.
Anthony, trust me. With the way that game went, you needed a little bit of luck. And you did.
It was a gritty game all around. No one expected that game to play out the way it did. 0-3 at halftime. Who was expecting that?
Shouldn't have been that way.
It shouldn't have. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start talking about execution?
Well, first of all,
I think that's one thing me and you both agree on.
Nick Sirianni came out today. You know what the problem with Sirianni is? He's trying to just talk his way through the media, and it doesn't work. He comes out today, and they're talking about who's calling plays. And then he comes out today and says, oh, well, you know, there's like 4 or 5 guys involved with that process. What?
Really?
What? Nick. Guys, I don't know who's going to agree or disagree with me with this. Something has happened to that man since Shane Steichen left.
I think I know a way to fix it. He needs to remember what brought him success. And it wasn't play calling. He needs to let Kellen Moore call the plays for his offense and leave it at that. I like Sirianni more as a player's coach, hyping up the whole team. I do not want to see Sirianni calling the plays because this man, he doesn't know how to execute. Yeah, we can move the ball. You can call some good runs from Saquon. Yeah, that's cool. When it comes down to getting into that final third of the field, it just stalls out. And with how Nick Sirianni likes to think that he's Mr. Doug Peterson over there, go for it, fourth and 5 and short and closer, going for it, automatic. And I get it. That's the way the NFL is moving towards. We're not the only team that does this, right? If it's 4th and 3, 4th and 2, you're going for it. That's what the analytics say to do.
God.
There's really no such thing as, you settle for a field goal. But in a game where your defense was dominating and dominated the whole game, I was surprised. I thought the second half they were going to come out and be a little sloppy. They kept it up. If we would have just settled for some more of those field goals instead of turning the ball over on downs, we could have had a more comfortable win.
This team could have easily won that game yesterday by 20-plus points.
Yeah.
But again,
the execution wasn't there. And a big part of it is the lack of A.J. Brown. Now, I get it. We love to all say it. I still do believe Devonta Smith is capable of being a number 1 wide receiver. He's a different style receiver than A.J. Brown. The reason why they're so dominant together is because they're not the same person. They both have different specialties. They're each their own unique weapon. And we are missing the presence of A.J. Brown out there.
Oh, and no one's denying that. Like I said, and that's where to the point of that interception yesterday. Devontae Smith does cut too deep into that route, yes. But that is a ball that you are throwing for A.J. Brown, not Devontae Smith.
I agree.
And again, read the room. Let me start now. Yes, I'm about to talk about the quarterback just to break the news. Read this room. I don't care how good Devontae Smith is. If Tyrann Mathieu is in front of him there, like he was, I'm dumping that shit somewhere else. I'm not throwing the ball over the middle of the field with Tyrann Mathieu within striking distance. Tyrann Mathieu, and again, I'm not even mad about the throw to Smith. I'm mad that he misses Dotson, who is all one-on-one on the other side. He's cutting left, and the DB is going backwards. He may have had Dotson for a touchdown. This is all just execution and decision-making on both sides, coaching, quarterback, and like I said, Smith did not run that route right. But that's what he is not. That's, again, you're saying this is where A.J. Brown is missed. I'm sorry. If that's A.J. Brown, I'll let him go against Tyrann Mathieu one-on-one.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it
I don't
also,
see
the
your
other
Tyrann
issue
Matthew
is
with
that
AJ Brown.
Hurts and Smith also have a lot of trust with each other. So I think Hurts really trusted in him that he was going to get up there and he was going to moss Matthew at one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a trust. It was a trust. It was a trust throw, and it didn't. It didn't work. The
But
problem.
I'm just still torn on the fact of why they don't have plays designed for these short situations, short field situations, for them to be able to move the ball and pick the defense apart.
Real quickly, this comment says it right there.
Yeah, they do.
And they're both good after the catch, too. We know that. There's two things that are still plaguing this team. And, we were supposed to be fixed under Kellen Moore. We're still having these issues. There are two things that we are still having a problem with: execution, in-game management, and holding on to the football. And that is not a blame on one player. All I'm saying is that this team has turned, I'm not putting the stat out there to make him look bad. I'm just pointing it out. Since the start of last year, since the start of last season, Jalen Hurts leads the NFL in giveaway. More than Josh Allen, who we have both critiqued about that.
Yeah.
This has got to stop. Because if it doesn't stop, when you run into those better teams, you're not going to get away with it all the time. I'm surprised they won 11 games with it last year. Who knows where they would be if Saquon Barkley wasn't on this team?
So, do you know the stats so far for this year for Jalen Hurts' turnovers?
He's got, what's it, 5?
4 interceptions and 2 fumbles lost.
All right, so 6.
And we all know the one fumble lost was the week 1
was
snap.
The bad snap.
And then I gave on our post game show yesterday, I gave my critique on the fumble that happened as well. He didn't tuck the ball. He was waiting to find someone downfield, which wasn't going to happen. He needs to just continue to take off and run and take the yards. We saw him do it throughout the game, so it's not like he doesn't do it. But he needs to just be more – he needs to trust his gut and go for it. I think because a lot of people criticized Jalen Hurts before for taking off too soon and leaving wide open receivers down the field for big plays. So now what he's trying to do is he's trying to hang on to it as long as possible, read the whole field, find the last ditch option, and then if there's nothing, he takes off. But sometimes it's too late. He's in a tough position.
He wasn't this, and I am actually going to defend him here because, again, people think I hate my starting quarterback. I don't. I want the guy to succeed. He was never this indecisive with Shane Steichen. He knew right away what the go plan was. He has looked indecisive the last 2 years under Brian Johnson and now. So what does that tell me? That goes back to your head coach. You can't keep bailing him out by blaming the offensive coordinator. This is a new offensive coordinator who is probably the best offensive coordinator he's had since Steichen. And we're still having the same problem. I don't care if it's the quarterback's fault. I don't care whose fault it is. You got to stop with this. You can't have this much talent and be that poorly executing. This is still going to come down on the head coach. And it's starting to now. But real quickly, let me just read off these comments. George said that it looked like Tampa Bay tried to phone it in against Denver, especially after beating the Lions. He expects them to be ready for the Eagles, which is dangerous. It is dangerous because.
So I want to throw something out here, right? So
right.
Now, I'm very reasonable. Mm-hmm. If there's concern, I'll show the concern. If there's justification, I'll find the justification. I just want to go through some of the top quarterbacks in the league so far this year. Number one on my list is Patrick Mahomes, who also has 4 interceptions, the same as Jalen Hurts. The Chiefs are still undefeated. So the quarterback play and the execution from the quarterback isn't always the end-all be-all. There were moments the first 2 weeks where the defense could have played better, and we could have won the game. And now this week, the defense showed up, and the offense barely scraped it by. So there's a few other quarterbacks I want to go through. Jared Goff, another one. He has almost the same stats as Hurts. 3 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And Hurts is currently top 4 in total passing yards this year. And he has a 70% completion percentage. That's the highest of his career so far, starting out. So out of the 4 interceptions, there's only 2 of them that were like, what the heck moments. Like, where were you throwing the ball? What were you thinking? That was a poor decision. The other ones, I was just like, okay, I saw what he was trying for. You got to risk it. Sometimes you got to risk it.
I just think I'm getting to the point now where I think this team is just really poorly coached.
I am in that same boat. And I saw there was a comment from Anthony a little ways back. He said, what's the point in Kellen Moore? And they said that's like saying she's your wife, but I'm using her in your house. I'm guessing that's in regards to
Kellen Moore,
and then Sirianni calling the plays. Because don't get me wrong, when an offensive coordinator comes in, it's their playbook, right? That's why we're seeing motion plays. We never ran motion plays.
No.
So we're running Kellen Moore's offense.
It's a combination of both.
It is a combination. But why not have the guy who's brought in as an offensive coordinator coordinate the offense and the play calling? Because I don't know who it is, but whoever's calling up these plays for when we're in scoring position, they're just not doing a good job. We've moved the ball very well the first 3 weeks down the field, and how many points total do we have to show for it? Not as many as the Saints coming into yesterday.
When you get inside the 15, the first 2 touches of each first and second down to be Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Real quickly, let's catch up on some of these. George said that means Kellen Moore is not being able to do his job when you have 4 to 5 guys calling plays. That comment is going to end up getting him fired. It probably will.
Mm-hmm.
Matt said, what makes him different? Brown is a big body wide receiver who will moss almost anyone. Smith is a disgusting route runner, and not saying Brown isn't, but he's not a route runner like Smitty.
AJ can run good routes, but Smitty's ability to get those deep cuts in his routes, it's different.
And Zolt said we were asking the wrong questions in preseason. It's not can Hurts bounce back from last year. Instead, it's can Hurts bounce back from weeks 1 through 3. Oh, God.
So, I mean, I'm looking at this, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, Slay looked good yet. Slay's best week was yesterday.
I'm sorry. Shaheed, what were his numbers yesterday?
That will be fair. Slay, the first couple of weeks, looked average. He didn't look anything show-stopping. Yesterday, he played really well. Hey, for 33, all I heard from this postseason and off-season training camps was that he was the fastest guy out there, and he felt like he was 25 again.
Zola said Sirianni's 3 weeks from being the hottest seat in the league. He's getting there.
If you had to start over, who would you get, A.J. Brown or DK? A.J. Brown.
It's not A.J. Brown. DK
now, if you want to go back and ask me, would I rather have drafted J.J. or Sega Blindside or DK Metcalf? It's always going to be DK Metcalf.
Exactly.
But
our boy Dennis is in here. Dennis said Reed Blankenship has earned his name back, but remember, we are 3 weeks away from the GOAT Cindy Brown coming back. He said, have a great show. Still slacking on looking hooking the room up. I know, Dennis. I got to get the wall decorated still.
Now I'm gonna say I got some more QB stuff to talk about as far as the whole
Go ahead.
league.
Go
It's
ahead.
been a very weird season so far.
Yeah.
Digging deeper into it, I love using me some Patrick Mahomes, the golden boy of the NFL, as the baseline for all these stats. Did you know Patrick Mahomes' QBR is at a 51 through the first 3 games?
Yeah.
Yet that team still looks fine.
Because they're
There's
properly
something
coached.
there's something about the Eagles that aren't fully finished, not fully polished, and it's the execution on those big plays that we need, those crucial downs. And
And
then
again,
even my man Geno Smith. Yeah, we gonna bring Geno up
oh,
again.
good.
He has a 75% completion percentage so far. He's currently number 3 in passing yards. He's got 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a 62 QBR. Nope, and Sam left. Peter want
No,
to hear
I'm
about
here.
Geno.
I'm still here. I have you on maximize screen because this is
All
all you.
right, Sam.
I'm
Oh
not
no,
involved in
that's
this.
it. That's it. That's all I just wanted to say. So far, Geno's looking solid, and Brock Purdy's actually number 2 on that list. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I'm not involving myself in Geno Smith. Well, I'm not doing this again.
And then you got Dak Prescott leading in passing yards, but has a 45 QBR. So that's that. Good job, Dak. Proud of you.
I just want this. I just want better execution. I want to stop turning the football over. That's all I want.
Yeah. I mean, turnovers are going to happen, right?
That fifth
Now,
rate though is ridiculous.
now hold on. Yesterday it was 2 turnovers. What was week 2? Was week
Stop.
2? But like how many turnovers? Was it just the 1 interception?
It was the pick. It was the pick at the end of the game.
So it was the 1 pick in the garbage time trying to make something happen.
Yes, but again, the offense. Well, week 2 was more of the defense. I'll give you that. And also, but they did it to themselves because, again, can we agree on something? I don't want to take anything away from what Dallas Goedert did yesterday, which we all know. Dallas Goedert played his ass off yesterday. I don't want to take anything away from him or Devontae Smith or even Jahan Dotson, who, by the way, the Eagles need to figure out how to get the football to. There's no way he's this bad.
They
I know
did
he's
it on
not.
that towards the end of the game. They found a way to get him the ball. It's just some quick passes.
I don't want to hear about it from. I don't want to hear anyone else. I've watched Jahan Dotson every damn snap of his career from Penn State. I know how good he can be. There's no way they cannot get him the football with all these guys hurt. But no disrespect to those guys. A.J. Brown's the best offensive player on the Eagles. Agree?
I think Saquon might have some words about that.
All right. Well, okay. That's where I was going. 1 and 2 are Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown, right?
My top 2 playmakers, I'm going with them too, yes.
So the first week against Atlanta, granted, short week. A.J. got hurt on Friday. They had a game Monday. I get that. If I had to make a quick game plan with with what some people would say my top playmaker out, my goal's got to be to get the football to the other guy, the second guy. And the first drive of the game, he's not even on the field. They have Kenny Gainwell out there.
Yeah.
I get you don't want to spend Saquon Barkley. I get you don't want to run him into the ground. We're not the Giants here. I get that. But save that when everyone else is healthy. This is why you got to... Tyler, I'm sorry. They may be 0-3 if Saquon Barkley's not on this team.
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
They're 0-3 without Saquon Barkley. These are the games we signed him for, to be that difference maker. So if AJ does have to miss games, which he has, if Devontae Smith has to miss games, which it may look like this week he may.
Because I'll be honest, yesterday, if Saquon doesn't find that gap and break that off for 65, now the offense probably would have made it down the field a little further, right? Probably would have been around field goal range. They would have went for it to keep going for the touchdown. They would probably turn it over again. We would have lost the game. Saquon Barkley won the game. Reed Blankenship, yeah, he got the game sealing pick. He would have never had a game sealing pick to get if Saquon didn't make that play.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, back to Zolt's comment again. It's only 3 weeks. This season has been so wacky through the first 3 weeks. You got
Yeah.
San Fran, who's are they 1-2 now? They blew out their season opener and they've lost the last 2.
Yeah.
Definitely hurt without CMC, even though Purdy
Sure.
has played pretty solid still.
My thing has never been with Purdy with the Niners. It's just CMC, and now they're down Debo and George Kittle.
Yeah.
But that was my point. CMC opens up everything else for the rest of them, which, by the way, I got a bone to pick with a certain 49er. George may agree with me, too.
Is that Mr. Ayuk?
Mr. I want my money.
Mr. Ghost?
Mr. I want my money. Here's 4 catches for 30 yards. Oh, meanwhile, here's Jawan Jennings. 3 catches, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Insane. Jawan
Excuse
Jennings,
me?
man. Jawan
Like, what
Jennings.
are we doing here?
Oh, man.
Like, what is going on here? And Matt said, I don't get the hate on Reed. Yes, he's not perfect, but neither is Brown. I watched him miss plenty of tackles last season and over pursue and not to be in great position. Well, to be fair, Sidney Brown was a rookie last year, but here's the thing. Sidney Brown's coming off a torn ACL. I can't put all my eggs in that basket.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get healthy
go with the guy who has done nothing but work his ass off from being an undrafted player a few years ago to now starting.
And Anthony, that hit was bad, and I have no idea how nothing came of it. How no one was flagged or punished or whatever.
Yeah. That it wasn't a hit to the head. His helmet just flew off.
Yeah, it
wasn't a hit to the head.
Flew off his body.
Yeah, that's normal. That happens. You get hit in the back and your helmet flies off.
But yeah, I don't know. Zolt said, okay, not to pile on San Fran. I'll do that later. Shanahan runs a great offense, but has history. When they get punched in the mouth, they can't answer. Don't know how to deviate from the game plan. And that's the thing. This is the point I was trying to make, Tyler, last night when I was talking to you in Orlando. Shanahan loses coordinators, doesn't bother him. Reed loses coordinators, doesn't bother him. Belichick lost coordinators, won Super Bowls. If a coordinator is that important to Nick Sirianni is not going to be here much longer.
So I'll say this. Out of all those coaches that you mentioned, the only one that I don't think is like an insane offensive genius is Belichick. Now Andy Reid's an offensive mastermind. So I can understand him being fine with coordinator turnovers. Shanahan, same way.
McVay.
But McVay too. But how did Bill Belichick do it for all them years?
Certain quarterback named Tom.
Yeah, that is essentially Tom Brady was the coordinator of that offense, so it was pretty easy.
Matt's making a great point about Reed Blankenship. Not only that, Reed Blankenship has like 8 interceptions over the past 2 years. No, he has 5. I'm sorry, he has 5, and the rest of everyone else on the team the last 2 years combined has 6.
Yeah, like Blankenship hasn't blown anything that I can remember so far this year. Unless you can jog my mind.
Reed Blankenship is PFF's highest graded safety right now.
Yeah.
Reed Blankenship is the unsung hero. Oh, no, Matt, I know he had 6 in his career, but I thought it was 5 over the past 2. I thought he had 3 last year and 2 this year. I know his first career when he came off Aaron Rodgers at 22. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing. Like, he honestly plays a pretty decent center field. Most of his
he is good at center field.
Coming up from that spot and making the play.
Honestly, better as a center fielder than, dare I say, CJ is.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing I learned from yesterday: don't want to ever see CJ in man coverage. or at least playing
the Olave one.
deep off on somebody. No, can't see that.
Well, that's because he's trying not to give up the inside, and nobody was there to help on the outside.
Yeah. If you're in that situation with your back against the wall like that, you got to have your best man coverage guys out on the field. Just guard up.
So, I was asking earlier about Shaheed and what he did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Shaheed did not touch the ball yesterday.
Really?
He had he had not one catch.
That's
this
crazy.
guy has been one of the best deep threat wide receivers over the first 2 weeks against Dallas and Carolina, and the Eagles did not give up a catch to him.
Yeah.
And that's... Did you watch C.J. Gardner-Johnson's interview at the end in the locker room?
No.
Because the one thing he did say, and he is right, credit Fangio, give Fangio all the flack you want, right? But nothing goes over their head. He said nothing goes over our heads.
It doesn't. Teams will just grind you down in the short game because they don't allow anything deep.
Yeah.
And I mean, can we talk about again how good Quinyon Mitchell is? You will never hear me say a bad thing about him not intercepting the football. Interceptions are nice and all, but at the end of the day, if you're defending a pass and you're locking guys down like that, it's amazing. And
yeah, man, I just Dean.
Yeah, that was bad too. The biggest play that Quinyon gave up, he was all over him. He played him to the sideline, but Derek Carr just delivered one of the best passes of his career.
Yeah. Look, we did that draft show. You were here. George was here. Y'all saw my reaction about Quinyon Mitchell. He's a dog. He's a flat dog. And I'm going to tell you now, when Darius decides to call it a career, we're in good hands.
Yeah. Now, what I want to know is, when can we see some Isaiah Rodgers incorporated out there?
Well, remember what Dennis said on the post-game show. That hand injury still isn't fully healed yet. Because he did. That's why he missed Green Bay. He broke a bone in his hand that last week of practice. They're still trying to make sure he's going to go out there without a big risk of re-injuring it.
Put a mid on.
That's easy to say now as a corner.
Hey, man, just bat the ball down. I already said, if you don't get the pick, you don't get the pick.
Yeah, but when you got to get handsy with the wide receivers,
that is true. You got to jam them at the line.
It's not. This is all right. Listen, you watch. All right, Tyler, I love you to death. You watch way too much Clay Matthews, buddy. Okay, you watch way too much Clay Matthews.
Hey, man, Clay was one of the best to do it with the mitt, just whacking guys with it.
Yeah, and then we got his little brother.
No.
Oh wait, by the way, did you see Chris Long's reaction to the Dallas Goedert catch?
No.
I'll send it to you later. It's the greatest.
I don't know why you don't send me these things when you find them.
Because you'll check your phone till like 2 hours later.
You crumb.
But either way, look, they should have lost that game yesterday. They should have, but they didn't.
Well, hey, on the same hand, Saints fans will say they should have won that game yesterday.
Yeah, and like, this was not a team this wasn't the Panthers you beat by 3. This is a team that put up 90 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And just destroyed Dallas in Dallas last week. And you went down there and completely shut that offense down.
This is the NFL. Just think we were 1 point shy of starting off the season 3-0. Would we be this hard on everyone right now? Now, I get it. Each week there's plenty of stuff to criticize, but would we be having a lot of these conversations if they were 3-0 right now?
No. Now, Matt wants to know who's our biggest surprise so far. He says Nakobe Dean.
Biggest surprise. I'm going to do you one better. I'm going Vaughn.
I hate you.
Hey, buddy.
I absolutely cannot
Sam, we got breaking news.
We do have breaking news, and that is because Pony is in the house, and Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was unblockable yesterday.
Jalen Carter may not have registered a sack yesterday, but boy, did he make the Saints offensive line Their heads spin around.
Oh my God!
So you're
Look at this.
telling me that Saquon is going to run for $150 on them when we play them
Why not? Everyone else has.
each game?
I mean, God, look what Alvin Kamara did to them.
Yeah.
Going into last week's game, yesterday I meant, Derrick Henry going into yesterday had 130 yards on the season, and he had like $150 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Tyler, last play of the game, Baltimore is 1 first down away from winning the game. They're running a jet sweep, quote unquote, with Zay Flowers. And they missed the complete sneak. It was a sneak with Jackson. Tyler, you're Mike Zimmer, who, yes, has not been in the NFL for a while, but you have been around the NFL a long time. If they're running a jet sweep to run the football to get a first down to ice the game, if Derrick Henry's not out there, Tyler, who's running the football? They're not giving it to Zay Flowers. It's Lamar Jackson. How you couldn't realize that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyler, I'm letting you take this comment.
Oh, no, I'm on it already. Don't you worry. All right.
All right, well,
Hold
I'll
up.
read. Let me read Matt's comment.
Read it. Yeah. Catch up on some comments. Anthony, I'm coming for you.
Oh, Anthony's claiming he warned us. Well, hold on real quick. Matt said, did y'all see the Saints yesterday during the game? They were taking shots at the Eagles organization on the jump. That's fine. The Saints are a bunch of losers. They still haven't gotten over 2018 in the pass interference call. Saints are just, whatever. I'm over the Saints. So, all right, well, we'll jump into week 3 recap after Tyler pulls up his statistics there. I'm kind of afraid of what you're about to pull up, actually. But all in all, I'm happy with the win yesterday. Was it a little bit of luck? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's a very... Oh, my. We've got breaking news.
Breaking news?
Oh, yes. It involves an old friend of ours.
Old friend?
49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan has announced that defensive tackle Javon Hargrave will miss the rest of the season with a partially torn tricep.
Yeah, the 49ers defense is cooked.
And that, kids, is why you don't get rid of Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
All right. Tony said, real quick, Jerry Jones have been asking why didn't we sign Derrick Henry? Say, no, Tony, they got... Don't need anyone but Zeke. All right, Tyler.
All right.
So,
let's talk about Saquon Barkley, right? Back with the New York Football Giants.
Matt's irate, so help him out.
He got ran into the ground. He saw multiple... He was pretty much on the field all the time, used in both the passing and running game. He had multiple games where he had to run the football on the ground over 30 times a game. And when you look at his yard average, because of how poor their offensive line play was, his average was like under 4 yards per carry. So, damn, it's always 49ers news.
George, I report what I see. Okay, I'm sorry.
So now let's talk. Let's talk about Saquon Barkley on the Philadelphia Eagles. They are actually managing him a little bit better. So far, he has had 24 carries in week 1, 22 carries in week 2, 17 carries in week 3. His averages have been well over 4 yards per carry for the first 2 weeks, and then yesterday he had 8.6 because of the 65-yard touchdown run. They are not using him too much at all. If they were using him too much, he would be getting close to 30 carries every game, and that's just not going to happen. They're not going to do it. There's a reason you still see Kenny Gainwell going out on the field.
Not right now.
I mean,
I'll answer.
that's a tough question because you're asking if they can win without Barkley, but you're not giving any context to if they also have another running back. Let's say we reverse it to last year. We don't have Saquon, but we still have Swift. Do I think they'd still be able to win? Yes. Did Saquon save the game yesterday? Yes, he did. Did he dominate in week 1? Yes, he did. But that question, if you're just saying in this current time without Barkley, well, yeah, of course it'd be hard to win without him because then we'd just be stuck with Kenny Gainwell. But guess what? This team would never put Kenny Gainwell as their number one running back and go into a season with him as the number one running back. So the question needs to be a little more specific on in terms of, are you just asking, does he get injured today? What happens? The injury hour.
Matt said with Brown and Smith healthy, yeah, we can win without him. I agree. They've done it before.
Yeah.
And Tony said Covey is out 6 weeks. What's the update on AJ and Devontae? All right, Tony. Well, Covey's out, so we need a new return man for the next 2 months.
Cooper DeJean. Just you watch and see.
The update on AJ Brown, Tony, is they did say it was only going to be a couple weeks. I'm assuming they're going to try to test that hamstring out this week in practice, see if he can go against Tampa. Devontae is in concussion protocol, and nothing will matter if he doesn't clear it. So it's just a wait-and-see game. But he seemed to be in very good spirits after the hit. So, same thing with Lane Johnson. He's in a concussion protocol, and we got to wait and see. Which, by the way, I'm not overly, yes, losing both of them is bad, but I will say this. I am not worried one bit after what I saw out of Tyler Steen and Fred Johnson. Those two kids were amazing. Remember, Tyler Steen was supposed to be the right guard.
Yeah, and then Mekhi Becton came in and just dominated.
Which, by the way, no update on Becton. That concerns me, that there was no update on him. But, I mean, he was sitting on the bench the whole rest of the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, he suffered a hand injury. How severe it is, we don't know yet. I'm assuming he'll be probably traveling back to Philly to meet with doctors to evaluate it. But I mean, it comes down to a tough part. Do you let him miss the few weeks and heal the hand? Because as an offensive lineman, if you're not able to use the full strength of one of your hands, that's going to limit you a lot. And with how well Tyler Steen played, I would just rather keep him in until Becton's healthy and then reevaluate who I want to keep in there as a starter.
Yeah. Matt said put Rodgers on punt returns. He's done it already. That is true.
So Rodgers is supposed to be our main return man when he's healthy. So they're just waiting for that to happen. I don't know if they're going to want to keep Rodgers on both kickoff and punt returns. They honestly might have DeJean do punt returns because DeJean's done it in his college career as well.
Yeah.
Ravens John Harbaugh. Justin Tucker dealing with technique issue. Really? What did he decide to change after his 10 years of dominating the NFL?
Yeah, right? What did you decide to change that was like, hey?
Oh, yeah. And for all the people that want to overreact about a missed Jake Elliott 60-yard field goal, go find me a kicker that has nailed every single field goal in his whole career and never missed one, especially from 60 yards or more.
Brandon Autry.
I'm sure he had to have missed one from 60.
By the way, I hope George turned off the show. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy has back soreness and is now considered day-to-day. The 49ers literally are now just a walking and who's playing Sunday?
Oh, man. Who's playing Sunday?
George may not let me on Dueling Aces tonight. I may be kicked off.
You're going to get kicked off for sure. The first mention of the 49ers, you're getting kicked off.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
It will happen.
But all in all, it's a good win. We'll see what the injury report looks like throughout the week about Smitty and Lane and all them. That was a team win. And, I like the vibe in the locker room. They seemed like they were upbeat. They were excited. They were happy. Like, there were games they won last year, and they looked miserable. They looked upbeat this year.
Oh, my gosh.
The demeanor around the team looks different. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. Sam, I had to look something up real quick. I think you're right about Brandon Aubrey. He's never missed a 50-yard field goal in his career so far.
Oh, the dude's the best kicker in the NFL right now. I'm sorry.
Gosh,
I love
he is.
but this dude's a pin.
He is. This
dude was belted from 70. This dude was belted from 70. It's not a joke. By the way, Georgie's officially done with me.
Oh, my gosh. Oh.
George is... Oh, you got...
Oh, man. Stealing your spot, say.
Hey, that's like going from Jimmy Garoppolo to Brock Purdy. Sorry. What? Anyway, Zolt back into his affiliation. Zolt's going to keep that on copy and paste for the rest of the show.
Oh, yeah. No, it might get into the injury 2-hour report.
Yeah, maybe to start that about 8-ish. But Anthony said, we said the 49ers didn't have nobody last game and still did great. Yeah, but they lost. Coney said, Barkley running behind my lot and never saw a hole like that he did yesterday in a 65-yard run when he was with the Giants. Coney, he never saw that when he was at Penn State. I watched those Penn State offensive lines. They were not good. Those were not good Penn State offensive lines he was running behind, but it wasn't pretty. But all in all, great team win yesterday. Needed that, and now you head to Tampa, which, by the way, Tampa, Baker Mayfield was sacked. Baker Mayfield's been sacked like 15 times over the past 2 weeks. No, I'm serious. Let me just say this, okay? Baker Mayfield was sacked 8 times in Detroit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He was sacked 7 times yesterday. If Bryce Young cannot sniff that backfield next week, you may need to consider cutting ties. Because these edge rushers still got to play better.
Oh yeah, the edge rush it's non-existent. It's not there. Just real quick to piggyback off Tony's comment, Barkley with the 65-yard touchdown run tied his career high for a touchdown run, and that was back in 2019 with the Giants that he ran for a 65-yard touchdown against the Cowboys.
Oh my God, it's not over.
It's not.
Per Adam Schefter, even after spending weeks on IR, Christian McCaffrey will be seeing a specialist in Germany regarding his Achilles tendonitis. It's getting worse.
All right, Sam, you're out of here.
You can't boot me. It's my show.
I'm booting you.
You can't. That's not booting me, but okay. All right, so does Zoe put the Niners injury hour before George's next comment? All right, guys, I'm riding solo for the rest of the night, apparently, as my co-host is upset that his fantasy team is now doomed. But, oh, no, he's back. Hi, buddy.
All aboard the Chuba Hubbard train.
All right, well... Here you go, Tyler.
Sam, you're fired. Georgie, I agree. Yep, it was a waste. Sam got to enjoy probably the only fully healthy season CMC's ever played in his career.
Oh, oh my God.
Man, that whole show is just going to be about the injuries.
Well, look, that show starts at 8, and we still have to we have to do 3 more segments. So, since we're let's get into the rest of the games that happened yesterday. Where do we want to start here? Do you want to start at a certain point, or do you want to just start from
anywhere? Where does your list start?
All right, we'll start off. Broncos dominate the Bucs 26-7.
Oh man, Broncos country was riding yesterday. I don't know what happened to the Buccaneers, but clearly nothing good happened.
Their offensive line stinks.
Aren't they banged up on the offensive line?
Yes. At least I
Anthony,
hope they are.
you can't say you hate CMC. It's not his fault. Honestly, Anthony, me and you made the same mistake. We saw his numbers last year and we were like, okay, cool, we'll get it this year. We didn't think to look back at the last 4 seasons that he's played to see how many games he's actually missed. Should have took Saquon.
But yeah, I, for one, oh my God. Lamar should be allowed to be flexed in most leagues.
Oh my gosh, that'd be unfair.
I'm clearly kidding, but yeah, that Bucs offensive line, they stink. They actually stink. They've allowed 15 sacks in 2 weeks. If the Eagles can't get...
What happened? They were one of the top O lines when Brady was there.
Yeah, because Brady got the ball out 0.8 seconds.
Yeah, true. Now they had Pro Bowlers on that team. They had Wirfs. They had
oh boy,
center. CMC is top. Oh man, yeah.
Oh boy,
CMC might be out of the league in a couple years. He might. He just might not be able to play.
Maybe he'll convert to a slot receiver.
Man, I want to know what happened. All we heard was that I remember the week 1. Shanahan came out and said if this was a playoff game, he'd be playing. So it was just precautionary. And now it's IR.
Will he play at all?
Specialist in Germany. He might miss the whole season.
And this just happened a few weeks ago, too. This wasn't something that was lingering.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Oh, man. I'm never going to get to you, CMC. I just wanted my turn with the shiny toy.
Next up, the Minnesota Vikings destroy the Houston Texans 34-7. I think it's time for somebody here to put a little respect on Sam Darnold.
Hey, man, I be giving him his props every single week so far. All right? And this week, he's going to get some more props.
He was out. This looks like the Sam Darnold from USC.
Which is scary to think about. The Jets are looking right now like, man, where was this? But then they remember that they're the Jets.
Yeah, right. But no, this is the Sam Darnold you saw back at USC. This is the guy that I saw tear apart Penn State in the Rose Bowl a few years ago.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday was his least overwhelming game so far. He played a solid game. He had 181 passing, 60% completion percentage, which is a little on the lower end. He had 4 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. So, I mean, he played a clean game, but it wasn't like anything that wowed you. But that's just a good win overall.
And he's like, CJ Stroud did not help me much in fantasy.
Oh, man. How did Stroud do yesterday? Did he even pass for that touchdown? He threw 2 picks? Ooh, yikes.
No, he did throw for one as well.
That's kind of like Baker Mayfield stunk it up for me. I still won this week, finally. My first win of the year.
I got back on track. Not a great week, but I got back on track. Zolt said, remember when I said water finding level and Darnold is the poster child for it?
Oh, man. Well, so Zolt's sticking on the train. Darnold won't last.
Let's give Darnold some credit. I mean, this guy went to 2 of the worst quarterback situations ever, the Jets and the Panthers. Then he goes to San Francisco, sits the year behind Purdy. Now he gets a nice 1-year prove-it deal with the Vikings, and he's taking advantage of it. He's playing very well right now.
Sam Darnold will be the next New York Giants quarterback.
Then he'll go back to Sam Darnold.
Oh yeah, that same turf, man. He's seeing the same ghosts.
Oh, stop. Next up, we got the Steelers starting 3-0 with a 20-10 win over the Chargers, who, by the way, lost their quarterback and both starting tackles in yesterday's game to injury.
Yeah, Chargers are screwed because it's looking like. What did they say? They're expecting him to miss time or no?
Who, Herbert?
Yeah.
Still waiting to hear on that. I know Joe Alt is missing time.
Oh man, that's rough.
X-rays on Herbert's ankle came back negative, so we'll have to wait and see there. Slater is dealing with a injury as well, so. Oh, and Joey Bosa got hurt yesterday too. What else was new?
Nice.
Yeah, the Cardinals are screwed.
Yep, they are screwed.
Oh, George, trust me, the Steelers need these wins because in about a month or two, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, their schedule gets real difficult. Second half of the year.
I told you, they may lose the last 8 games of the season in a row. They may not win another game after that.
Watch, they go undefeated.
Yeah,
just because you said that, Sam. Just because you said it, go undefeated.
I'll wear a Steelers jersey on that show. And I don't own one. There ain't no way they're winning all those games in a row. Result that Steelers always finish above 500. This is just Tomlin banking the W's early. He ain't wrong.
Yeah.
Next up, Packers beat Titans 30-14. Malik Willis revenge game.
The Malik Willis revenge game. Yeah, I mean the Titans, they're doing exactly what we all expected them to do, which is not
Tighten
much.
Up.
Packers, they're finding ways to survive until they get Love back.
Which it looks like it'll be this week coming up.
Yeah, possibly.
By the way, I want to just put this on record. I know I've been getting on Jalen Hurts a lot this past couple of weeks. I know I've been saying things to other quarterbacks. Will Levis may be the worst decision-making quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life. My man is underhanded balls, throwing picks, sixes. Like, this guy is actually that bad.
Well, Anthony Richardson isn't looking too hot right now.
No, he's not. Speaking, that's actually the next game on the docket as they defeated the Bears 21-16. Another one. Caleb Williams just made things.
Yeah, he finally got his first passing touchdown.
Yeah, and 2 more interceptions.
Yep.
He's not even completing 60% of his passes.
I know. It's bad. Well, another person who isn't, and this is really bad too. Who was the one who was hyping up Anthony Richardson so much? Was it our Anthony? Was it Mr. Price hyping up Anthony Richardson? Because so far, the man has averaged 50% completion percentage, and I'm rounding up right there. It's actually 49.3.
Yep.
He's got 583 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
All right, yeah, maybe I need to back off a little bit on my quarterback because this could be a lot worse.
Oh, it could be a heck of a lot worse. With the way Hurts is playing, he's still one of the top 5 quarterbacks through week 3. Yeah. And rather than the Bears being smart and let's say they draft Joe Alt and keep Justin Fields. I don't know.
How about instead of trading for Keenan Allen, trading for an offensive lineman?
Yeah.
They don't need Keenan Allen.
What do you need? Yeah, what do you need Keenan Allen for? DJ Moore's great.
Dunes is great. Clement.
You can't call Clement. What do they do? And I still don't think they know how to run the football in Chicago.
It's not that they don't know how to.
They're making DeAndre Swift look like a bum.
I have no comment for the Bears. Anthony said he has a random quiz for you. Who was the last 1,000-yard wide receiver for the Ravens?
For the Ravens? Oh, gosh. Who was it? Why do I get this question?
It's barely you than me.
Top of my head, I'm going. It can't be. No, not Anquan Bolton. That'd be way too long. I'm going. I kind of want to say Torrey Smith. That might be kind of a while ago too. But then again, I can't think of the last time they would have had a 1,000-yard receiver. With Steve Smith, he played there, right? How long ago was that? Damn. All right. I'm putting in 3 guesses. It's either Steve Smith, Torrey Smith, or Anquan.
Those are his guesses.
Those are my guesses. Let me know if I hit on any of those.
And then, of course, Anthony said if Caleb Williams continues to play bad, DJ Moore will want out. No argument there.
Oh, dude, did you see how pissed DJ Moore was getting? That Caleb Williams cannot physically pass the ball and get it to him when he's open.
Oh, my God, no, he can't.
He is livid about that. This is DJ Moore's probably like, damn, this is the worst quarterback I've ever played with in my career. Hollywood Brown got 1,000 yards in the season?
Hollywood Brown was good enough to get 1,000 yards in the season?
Which season was that? I would love to know. Wow.
What universe am I in?
I'm shocked. Hollywood Brown, no way.
I am stunned. All right. Moving on to our next one. How about the Giants getting a nice 6-point win in Cleveland?
Yeah, that was an interesting game because I remember starting off. First thing I saw was like it was a turnover on the kickoff, the opening kickoff, and they scored in 11 seconds. The Browns. So I just thought the Giants were going to do what the Giants do best and leave it at that. But they somehow pulled out a win.
There may be a Deshaun Watson problem in Cleveland. He does not look right at all.
Deshaun Watson needs to go.
He doesn't look right mentally or physically. He does not look good at all. I don't know what it is, but something's up with him, and it's time for Cleveland to maybe start getting ready to look elsewhere.
Maybe the fact that he's got even more allegations against him now, that would probably distract somebody a little bit from doing their daily job.
That is true. Next up, Seahawks dominate the Dolphins 24-3. Seahawks are 3-0.
Yeah. I remember you had the Seahawks as a whole not doing too hot over there, Sam.
Okay.
Them and the Saints. Them and the Saints, man. Sam, all I'm saying is your lists always suck.
Tyler. They've played the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Tua-less Dolphins. Are you kidding? Knock it off.
Okay. Now, I would have said that it's still the Dolphins, but the fact that the Dolphins' backup quarterback got hurt now, I can't say that. I can't make that excuse.
Panthers dominated the Raiders. We kind of talked about this game already. Andy Dalton looks great. Bryce Young may be done.
And Raiders fans are just upset.
Hi, Jimmy. Let's talk about America's Game of the Week.
No, let's not. Because I'm sick and tired of these Dallas Cowboys always getting put on America's Game of the Week. America don't give a damn about them. They're terrible. Dak Prescott will probably throw for the most yards every year and have the lowest completion percentage and the lowest QBR ranking because he's terrible. But he's the best thing that Jerry's got to keep them relevant.
Yep.
That's why he got paid.
I'll tell you one thing. That Cowboys run defense is booty.
The Cowboys' defense is Micah Parsons and whoever else can help them.
Which is not much.
Not much at all. If you
Next
stop
up,
Micah Parsons, that's it.
yeah, honestly, you're not wrong. Two-run home run, JT Realmuto, and the Phils take the lead.
Oh, wow. Sam's excited about JT Realmuto again. Nice to see.
I was the best catcher in baseball. Never doubted him a day in my life.
Oh, okay. I've heard some criticisms coming from you.
Sure, this is not hitting home. We're not talking baseball right now. But anywho, moving on to our next game, we have the Rams, shockingly, coming back to beat the Niners 27-24. That is the game of the injured stars. No McCaffrey, no Debo, no Kittle, no Puka, no Cooper Kupp. Like, Aaron Donald's retired. No Hargrave. Like,
Donald's retired.
Like, what is happening? Like, that game this time last year would have been great. There's no one playing in this game.
No, there was. Matthew Stafford.
More breaking news.
Oh, no.
Chargers defensive back Derwin James has been suspended.
What did he do?
For one game after repeated violations of player safety rules against the Steelers. Okay.
Violation of player safety rules.
The Los Angeles Stafford.
The Los Angeles Staffords.
Cardinals lose by a touchdown to Detroit. Cardinals, I said, what did I say about the Cardinals? They're not going to win a lot, but they are annoying.
I told you.
I told you. They're not going away in these games. They're sneaky annoying. Marvin Harrison Jr. caught another touchdown. Detroit's offense isn't playing has not played well the last couple of weeks.
No, they're not looking too impressive. I think they need to get Jahmyr Gibbs involved in the passing and running game more instead of just the pass game. Not for fantasy purposes or anything.
Oh, yeah, not for that. And to cap it off, the Chiefs defeat the Atlanta Falcons 22-17. Result, of course, that the Cardinals just don't go away. Now, Tyler, here's my problem with what we talked about a few weeks ago. I would like to just let you know, I am okay with this. This is pass interference. Yes. I completely agree with you.
Yes.
The problem I'm having is, so what the hell do you call this?
Yes. I call that pass interference as well.
So that's
how
my
it
problem.
Was not called pass interference, I have no idea.
And I'm sorry, this one, way worse than this one. In my opinion.
They're both bad. They're both bad.
Oh, they are.
Blatantly
but
obvious.
This one is bad.
Blatantly obvious, both of them. How that
He's
was not thrown.
Him.
Yeah, how that was not thrown is beyond me.
All right, look, I don't know who number 6 is. That Reed? Is that Justin Reed?
Let me see if I can find it.
Who's number 6 on the Chiefs? Because I think that's Justin Reed. I can't make out the picture, but that looks like Justin Reed to me.
Brian Cook.
Brian Cook didn't hug his father that tight when he got into college.
Oh my God. Jeez, Sam. How you know that, Sam? How do you know that? Oh, God. Terrible.
It's a blatant pass interference.
You don't really notice how good their defense is until they, just start getting those flags thrown to help them out.
No, yes, but I will say, son, Spags always has that group ready to play.
That is true. And those refs are always ready to come in late game to save the day.
Yes, agreed. But, yeah, F the Chiefs.
I told you, Sam, I'm always fair about everything. If I feel like something's justified, it's justified. If it's not, get out of here with it. And
Agreed.
that is BS. That was a flag that was not thrown.
But now, you want to preview our Monday night doubleheader?
Let's do it. Double the games.
All right,
Double
first
the
game up
disappointment.
tonight. First game up tonight, we got Bills hosting the Jags.
I'm just going to start off by saying I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to take the game. They've been playing well. They've been winning games differently this year than how they have in the past.
They have
They've kind of retooled themselves, and they have a different identity. And it's been winning games.
Cook.
And that defense is looking like one of the best defenses.
Thanks, Zolt. See you in a little bit, buddy.
See you, Zolt.
We'll see you in a little bit.
I will say, I did hear that I think, Jacksonville's run defense is one of the top run defenses so far this year. But their pass defense is a little shaky. So I think that the Bills are going to have to attack them in the air. So hopefully some of their young wideouts are going to step up.
It'll be a Keon Coleman game.
Yeah, it could be. He's in my flex. We'll see.
And not to mention Tyson Campbell's on IR, their number one corner. So
so they're vulnerable in the air. On the ground, it might be rough to come by those yards for James Cook this week.
Funny, you're the number one rush defense after you signed Eric Armstead. Go figure. Go figure. This game has the Jags. They're not going to win this game. They desperately need to, but they're not.
I think they'll lose a close one. Honestly, they'll be right there.
They lose every close game. Look, Doug Peterson's got to get this team turned around quick, because they brought him in to fix this with Trevor Lawrence, and they look bad. Like
Trevor Lawrence looks just about as good as Daniel Jones.
Oh boy. Next, but you want to give a prediction and a player of the game for this?
Prediction, definitely Bills win. I'm gonna say 28-17.
Okay.
Player of the game, honestly, I don't even know. I have no idea. Josh Allen, because he's probably gonna be throwing the ball all game.
All right. I'm gonna go 31-24 Bills.
Okay. Giving a little more points to the Jags.
And I'm gonna go, that's because the Jags are allergic to winning close games. But player of the game, how about a 2-touchdown night for Mr. Coleman?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
Since I jinxed everything, that's why I did it.
Damn it. Well, I already won this week, so it don't matter.
No. I think Coleman's going to, when he settles in, I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver.
Yeah. Now, last week, he was held without any catches. But it was, honestly,
he's due.
It was a rough passing game.
Well, wait, was that last week against Miami?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no shit, because James Cook went prime Barry Sanders on them.
Exactly. That's why Keon Coleman's going to be read the room every week. Sam's favorite new term, read the room.
Read the room, baby.
I got to read the room. If they're playing a good run defense, that's a start. Start them in the flex.
But now let's move on to game number 2. Bengals hosting Commanders tonight. Real quickly, Anthony, yet.
Yeah.
The key word is yet. He's a rookie wide receiver.
He's drafted in the second round.
Yeah, right.
I have high expectations for him with the way that they hype him up.
Oh, yeah. How you feeling about Bengals Commanders?
Bengals Commanders. Well, Anthony, why don't you drop something for us? What's your prediction for it? I would love to hear it. I feel like the Commanders are going to try to stay in the game. Because the Commanders are another team. They kind of just annoy you and stay with you the whole
Yeah.
game.
Oh, they are
Um,
annoying.
I do like how they've put together their offense so far. They strictly use Brian Robinson in the run game because he's a great runner, and they
Oh,
strictly
yeah.
use Austin Eckler on passing downs. So they found a really nice role for both of them to work together. But
I would
I
like,
don't know if they're going to be able to do enough to win the game. I don't know if they're going to be able to put up enough points.
I would just like them to open up the passing game a little bit for Jaden Daniels. He is a lot better than what these first few weeks has shown.
Yeah,
And they got to get Terry McLaurin going in this offense.
they do. They've been
And I'll take
they've tried to get him going. They're definitely using him more.
differently. Because let me tell you something. Anthony, no offense. I know we like to make the joke about Jahan Dotson wasn't great. They had no business trading Jahan Dotson because the rest of that wide receiver room, outside of Scary Terry, booty cheap.
Yeah.
Like straight up booty cheap. I'm talking like 2020 Phillies bullpen.
So I'll say this.
If you want to hold on, if you want to go watch an embarrassment, go Google the 2020 Phillies bullpen. That short season because of COVID, every relief pitcher the ERA was over 5. They stunk.
The Commanders will not win this game by kicking field goals. It's not going to happen this week.
Unless the Bengals play like they did week 1.
Even still, it's not going to happen. The Commanders still have a good defensive unit. I think that they're going to try to keep the passing game in check. But I mean, that's the thing. If they keep the passing game in check, the Bengals have no run identity. They can't run the football. Oh my gosh.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going there.
Oh
all right,
gosh.
Tyler, score prediction. Player of the game. What we got?
Score prediction. I'm going. I'm going 30 to 17.
30 to 17. I'm assuming Bengals, right?
Yes, the Bengals. I don't see the Commanders finding the end zone that much. Now, granted,
Okay.
yes, they played a very good Giants defense last week, and they couldn't find the end zone. I don't think the Bengals defense is as good as that Giants defense, but I still see the Bengals putting up some points on them.
Agreed. I'm going to go 28. I'm going to go 28-21 Bengals. The Commanders are annoying, man. No matter how many jokes we like to make with Anthony, the Commanders are annoying. And they got veteran guys up front.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they still got dogs up front. They still got Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. They got Bobby Wagner. They got dogs on that defense still.
They do.
And I still think Jaden Daniels is going. I think tonight Jaden Daniels may go out there and play his best football. I really do. So I'm going to go 28-21 Bengals. Close game. Player of the game. Oh, I'll go Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase will catch maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns tonight. Maybe he'll shut up and actually play now and stop being a diva. So, yeah. I'll go 28-21 Bengals. Give me Jamar Chase, player of the game.
Okay.
All right, so I got about 40 minutes till dueling aces. You want to run through some college football real quick?
Yeah. So you want the Arch Manning breakdown before you do your rundown?
I was actually just going to talk about the games that I watched this weekend. The AP Top 25. I mean, we could talk about. I can run through that real quick, but yeah, you want to go first with Arch Manning? He made his starting debut for the Longhorns. How'd he look, Ty?
He made his starting debut, and he looked just as you would have expected. And I'll say that it wasn't the perfect game. But, it's his first start. Yeah, it was against UL Monroe. not a big name
Made
team at
up
all.
school.
Made up school, real players. But let me pull up his stat line. I think he threw, it was a few interceptions.
We got a Schwarber. It's 3-0, baby.
Oh man, Schwarber.
That is now, congratulations to Kyle Schwarber, because that is now back-to-back seasons with 100 RBIs.
All right. So in his first,
wait,
yeah.
real quick. Can I actually cut you off real quick?
Yeah.
I was told Kyle Schwarber wasn't a leadoff hitter, by the way. 100 RBI, 38 homers, leads the National League in walk. I was told he wasn't a leadoff hitter. But continue now, please.
Okay, I'm glad you're done. So, Texas Longhorns got the win 51-3. Arch Manning, he had 15 completed passes for 29 yards, 29 attempts, 258 yards, a 51% completion percentage, 2 passing touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So let me tell you what I see the main difference between him and quarterback Quinn Ewers is. Ewers is a lot more of a polished quarterback. He's very good at controlling the game, being a game manager in the short and medium game. Arch Manning is the pop the top off of your defense, big play, strong arm kind of guy. Last week when he came in to fill in for Quinn Ewers, he had the 75-yard bomb touchdown, and then this week he had a 56-yard pass. So he's got a very strong arm. He is a gunslinger.
He's a Manning.
He is a Manning. Now, what he's got to do is, and also another thing that came out is his family confirmed he's going to stay and play all 4 of his years as a starter at Texas.
Good.
So he wants to get that development. He doesn't want to rush himself. He wants to, learn and develop as much as he can, which is a great thing for him to do. So, honestly, by the time he comes out of college, I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks coming into the league. I mean, he's going to have a cannon of an arm. He's going to be able to work on his accuracy while he's there in college. But, man, he gets the big plays, the big completions.
Agreed. I'm excited to see. Now, Quinn Ewers, he's a junior?
I believe so. And honestly, Ewers is a guy I could see getting drafted to the NFL.
Ewers is really good.
He's a good quarterback. He is a junior, yes.
Okay. Arch Manning's time at Texas is coming.
It's coming. It's coming, all right. But yeah, I mean, those are the two big differences that I see between them. 2 different types of quarterbacks completely. But he's going to be on the come up. Just wait until it's his turn to start there. Full-time starter. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, it's not like he's sitting behind a flag. Like Quinn Ewers is a Heisman candidate. Like,
oh yeah,
the guy's good. Like,
his accuracy is very, very good. Like, he's an extremely accurate thrower. He's not going to be throwing bombs all the time, but that ball's getting there.
Oh yeah. Running out the rest of our top 25 from this week in college football. Number 24, Illinois defeated Nebraska 31-24 in overtime last Friday. Very good game. It was a very, very well-rounded game. Number 10, Penn State took out their frustrations after their bye week, which, by the way, I feel better about the Bowling Green game 2 weeks removed, because the A&M is number 25 in the country, and they only beat them by 6. Bowling Green plays tough, man. But Penn State took their frustrations out on Kent State 56-0. The Nittany Lions.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know. Penn State racked up 718 yards of total offense in this game.
Oh, Lord.
Drew Aller. 17 of 21 309 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown as well. Tyler's favorite Nittany Lion, Ty Warren, put up 5 catches for 50 yards. Now listen to this one. Ty Warren put up 5 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. He completed 1 pass for 17 yards and a touchdown, and he had 1 rush for 16 yards.
Wow.
If that's not a do-it-all tight end, I don't know what is.
Oh, man.
I will say Tyler Warren and Drew Aller, they will be playing on NFL Sundays in the near future. Oh, yeah. Drew Aller gets better every week. This was his best game as a Penn State Nittany Lion. Like I said, last year, stagnant offense. They didn't throw a lot of deep balls down the field. They didn't have a lot of big plays. They made the change of offensive coordinator, and it's completely different now.
I just want to see him in his first primetime game against a big opponent.
Well,
when is that coming up?
We have Illinois coming in this week for a whiteout.
Ooh, Illinois. Illinois is good this year, man.
Illinois is very good. Illinois, okay, so the new AP Top 25 has been released. Penn State moves back up to number 9. Illinois moves up to 19.
Okay, there we go. Guys, get a favorite opponent.
7:30 game, in case I get off at noon. May make the drive.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. I will. RBI single, Castellanos 4-0. Let's go. Give me my damn division. I waited 13 years for this. All right, anyway, after I just popped my shoulder out of its socket. Anyway. All right. Number 21, Clemson outlasted North Carolina State 59-35. Number 3, Ohio State dominated Marshall 49-14. Why this was a primetime noon game, I have no idea. Number 20, Iowa State dominated Arkansas State 52-7. Number 17, Notre Dame defeated Miami, Ohio, made up school, 28-3.
Made up school.
Now here's the game that I watched the end of. Michigan beats USC 27-24. This was one hell of a football game. Now, I didn't watch the whole game. I got on late, got it on the fourth quarter. You know, I know Michigan's lost a lot. You know, they lost Harbaugh. They lost freaking Minter, their defensive coordinator. They lost a bunch of players. They lost their running back. They lost McCarthy. They lost Junior Colston. They lost Mike Sanistrell. They lost a lot of guys from that national title team. I get that. But the culture is still there. And what you saw on Saturday was a culture win. USC's used to the high-flying Pac-12 football. They don't play downright gritty football. The Big Ten, all we do is punch you in the face. And Michigan did that. They played good defense when they had to. Wink Martindale has that unit playing really good since he took over for the Harbaugh regime as defensive coordinator. He has had that defense playing strong with a bunch of new players. They ran the football effectively. Mullins had like 160 rushing yards because Michigan right now doesn't have a quarterback. They don't know who that's going to be. But if Michigan continues to play strong defense against a team like USC and runs the football, they're still a playoff contender. Now with the expanded format, they're still a contender for the playoffs. In my opinion. They played a great football game on Saturday. It was a very entertaining game. LSU defeated UCLA 34-17. Northern Illinois upset 23-20 by Buffalo in overtime. Number 19, Louisville defeated Georgia Tech 31-19. Number 12, Utah outlasted number 14, Oklahoma State 22-19. Missouri avoids the upset to Vanderbilt in double overtime, 30-27. Number 8, Miami destroyed South Florida, 50-15. Number 15, Oklahoma lost to number 6, Tennessee, 25-15. Texas A&M at number 25 outlast Bowling Green, 26-20. Number 5, Ole Miss dominates Georgia Southern, another made-up school, 52-13. As Tyler reiterated earlier, Texas dominated Louisiana Monroe 51-3. And the upset of the week as number 13 Kansas State was demolished by BYU 38-9.
Wow. BYU.
That is crazy. Kansas State had a good offense, too. Avery Johnson, their quarterback, he's only a sophomore. That kid's a stud. He's a great dual threat quarterback and run the ball well. He has a good. I'm not saying he's got the most capable NFL arm, but I've seen him fit some balls into some tight windows. I see some NFL quarterbacks not make. That is that's a. And BYU's undefeated. They're 4-0.
Really, man.
But I will tell you.
University.
I'll tell you. Nothing beats for what I saw on Saturday night up in Colorado. So let me explain to you how this game ended. The Colorado's is losing to Baylor 31-24. Can we just come out to say this first and foremost? You and I have watched plenty of college football. Colorado's offensive line is terrible.
It's awful.
Shador is running for his life on almost every play. However, so he gets the ball at midfield, takes a bad sack. And he takes a bad sack, strip sack, then there's a penalty. So it's 2nd and 24. He heaves the ball deep downfield at the 5-yard line, which is a walk-in touchdown, and it's dropped. Next play, Hail Mary, touchdown. Tie game, we're heading to overtime. Overtime. Colorado scores with no effort whatsoever. Baylor had no answer for their run game, in overtime at least. What happens next? Baylor gets the ball. Running back's going for the goal line. Hunter meets him one-on-one at the goal line. Shoulder in the ball. Fumble out of the end zone. Buffaloes win. What a game.
That was quite the game.
What a game that was. Now, Colorado, like I said, Colorado's still struggling with some things. Their O-line is
atrocious.
Booty. Oh, their O-line is atrocious. Let's see if we can get the new AP Top 25 real quick before we call it a night. Let's see if we can find the new one. Which we do. All right. Texas stays at number 1. Georgia number 2. Georgia plays Bama this week coming up.
Ooh.
Ohio State 3, Bama 4, Tennessee 5, Ole Miss 6, Miami 7, Oregon 8, Penn State 9, Utah 10, Missouri 11, Michigan gets back up to 12, USC drops to 13, LSU 14, Louisville 15, Notre Dame 16, Clemson 17, Iowa State 18, Illinois 19, Oklahoma State 20, Oklahoma 21, BYU, just like I predicted, jumps into the top 25 at number 22.
Nice.
Kansas State drops to 23. A&M is now at 24. And I believe it's Boise State is at number 25.
Boise State, the blue field?
Yeah, Boise State, number 25. So that is your AP Top 25 heading into Week 5.
Interesting.
Any other college football thoughts?
No, I mean, college football has just been as crazy as the NFL has been so far.
I think it's been more competitive this year.
Yeah.
I think it's more competitive now that we don't do division. Now that like the Big Ten, like Penn State doesn't have to play Michigan and Ohio State. Like now we actually have like we're playing UCLA this year. We're playing USC. We never play those guys unless we're a bowl game. Like I think this new format in the expanded playoff is really working. I think it brings out the competitive.
It shakes it up.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just brings out more competitiveness because all these teams now basically will play each other, and I love it. I think it brings out a lot more competitiveness into the sport instead of watching teams beat up on the Kent States of the world.
The Citadels.
No, that stop with the Citadel, please. Please stop with the Citadel. But anyway, almost a 2-hour show, an absolute banger of an episode tonight, Tyler. This is a fun show. Talked a lot of football.
Right. It's been great. Always great.
More football means always great conversation. Eagles are 2-1. The NFL's off and running. College football is more competitive. The Phillies are up 4-0 and are looking to clinch the NL East. And I'm going to be on Dueling Aces in about 25 minutes. So, any final words for the people, Tyler?
Go Birds, as always.
Go Birds, as always.
My faith never wavers.
Want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Want to thank everyone who threw in their comments. Matt, Anthony, Dennis, George, Zolt, our new commenters that came in and threw a couple comments in. Want to thank you guys all for supporting the show. Want to thank everyone who supports the show on a weekly basis. We're off to big and good things here at 609. Big things are coming. Want to thank everyone for supporting us here on the weekly. You guys are here with us every week. You always make the shows entertaining. The comment sections are always exploding. Don't forget, 609 Sports Talk has a special episode this Sunday. George G from Dueling Aces and I will be on to a complete MLB postseason breakdown. So please don't forget to check that out on Sunday. Not sure the time yet. We'll get you guys updated on that throughout the week. But come out and check it out. It's a special full hitting home episode of 609 as a full baseball playoff breakdown. But guys, we're going to get out of here for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. We know that we did. Thank you once again for everybody who joined us. Have a safe rest of your Monday. It's fall now, by the way. Hope everyone is enjoying the fall weather. So that only means it's going to be 28 degrees outside soon, which I'm not happy about. But
oh man.
Either way, guys, stay safe. Have a blessed rest of your Monday. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you guys next time. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.